Tottenham have just stolen it. A completely undeserved win, but we got there. Scoring 2 late goals. I don't know why I'm laughing. This football club at times is going to be the death of me. So poor from an attacking standpoint. Some of the tactical changes and substitutions by this manager just makes absolutely no sense. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. That was absolutely diabolical. It was awful to watch. Absolutely awful. Genuinely. It was diabolical. Coventry 1, Tottenham 2. In a game which we were outclassed by a championship side for literally 88 minutes. Look at the stats. We are playing Coventry City, who had more shots on target, and I believe more corners than us. 6 more shots. We are not taking our chances whatsoever. But even worse, we're not even creating a huge amount. And this isn't me being negative. This is me being truthful now. Ange is out of his depth. I know we won tonight, and I'm happy we won. But the manner of the win was absolutely shambolic. 2-1. You know, the first minute of the game, Fraser Forster gives the ball away. And Coventry striker, I think it was Bassett, gets a strike on the edge of the box. Luckily, it wasn't clinical. It was right at Forster. But why put yourself in the unnecessary danger that you don't need to do? If in doubt, kick it upfield. You're not an elite goalkeeper. You're at the end of your career. You are on the decline. You don't need to try something fancy. And, you know, somehow, some way, he makes a save. The first half, Coventry absolutely peppered us from an attacking standpoint. They wanted it more. They were first to their duels. They meant business. They come and they had a game plan, and it worked for 88 minutes. If it wasn't for literally I don't even know what you want to call that. If it wasn't for a moment of madness from, you know, Coventry's defense, we would have come out that with a defeat. Now, the positives, we'll get onto the positives in a minute. We'll start with the negatives. Wilson Odobert picked up a hamstring injury around the 80th minute, and Brennan Johnson come on. And it was a big game for Brennan Johnson because he began getting a lot of pelters. He hasn't had the best of starts to this week, to this season. He had to deactivate his Instagram account, which I completely disagree with. I don't think that a footballer should be getting that much pelters. I understand criticism, but not like personal insults. I think that's a bit far. And it was a big game for him. And he come on today, and he was okay. Clever finish at the end. But some of Ange's substitutions. First half, Coventry should have been 2-0 up. It was one of the worst first halves of football I have seen from Tottenham in a long time. Not creating chances, passing it around the back. Ben Davies giving the ball away. Yet again, and not keeping a clean sheet. We just lack real conviction in our final third passes, in creating chances. Everything seems to be all right in the middle of the park. But when we get to the final third, we're always overhitting passes, making the wrong decisions. Like we've scraped past Coventry. Like, is this where we're at? We're struggling to beat championship sides. Yes, I am very, very, very happy that we got over the line, but that was just, at times, it was so painful to watch. So painful to watch. Luckily, we're through. Some of the changes, though, we got to talk about this. Brings on Jed Spence, who's a right back, for our left back. He starts a midfielder at right back. I know Archie Gray can play there, but that makes no sense. Then he somehow keeps Timo Werner on. The only reason Timo Werner eventually went off was because of an injury. Heung-min Son come on for Solanke. Yet again, we created absolutely nothing for Solanke. James Maddison come on for Bergvall. And then their goal, once again, teams have understand the blueprint. It's the counter-attack and get us. And we can see the goal on the counter-attack. Lovely ball across from Brandon Thomas to Brandon Thomas from Bassett, and they make it 1-0. And at that point, I was like, yeah, we're absolutely out. We're on our knees. And Dejan Kulusevski changed the game for us. He changed the game for us. He was the difference maker. He got the assist for the equaliser. Lovely ball through to Jed Spence, who I don't think should have, come on when he did. But fair play, he come on and it was a great finish and he made it 1-1. Completely, all of a sudden we go a goal behind and we just want to play football all of a sudden. I don't really understand the mindset of that, but we were just all over the place. Absolutely all over the place for large periods of that game. And we now, we equalise, and then fair play to Brennan Johnson. It's a lovely ball through from Bentancur. He times his run to absolute perfection, and it's a delightful finish from Brennan Johnson. He's been getting so much stick, and he needed that boost of confidence. Finally, he's turned up and done something in his Spurs shirt. But there's so many players at this football club that need to wake up and start putting in decent performances, because that was absolutely diabolical. Yes, we won, but that is just papering over the cracks. It's the worst performance of the season. We're 13th in the league. We've won 2 games out of our first 5. That's the most amount of goals we've scored other than the Everton game. We're not taking our chances. We need to be better. And Ange has got to make more, better in-game decisions. Some of the decision-making that game, we're keeping on Timo Werner. Timo Werner. Like, look at Tapping Tobes' tweet, sums this up to absolute perfection. And it was, he took off Solanke and kept on Werner. Brought on Spence, a right back, to replace a left back to accommodate Gray, a supposed midfielder playing left back. Keeps on Sarah Bentancur, yet takes off Bergvall, who was better than them both. This is hideous management tonight, and will cost another cup run at this rate. But thankfully, one of the changes he brought on did change the game, and that was Dejan Kulusevski. If he doesn't, it was painful to watch. Like, yeah. That performance was painful. But look, we got through. We're through to the next round. I'm not sure when the cup draw is, but that was an absolute abomination at times. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting, couple of, a very interesting time at the weekend against Brentford, because that blueprint is out there. And I knew this was coming. Like, I knew this was coming. It's a massive kick in the teeth. Just simply weren't good enough. It's as simple as that. Struggling to beat a championship side. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is Ange out of his depth? Could he have made any different tactical tweaks to the game? But my word, at times we are painful to watch. Absolutely painful. Yeah. I'll do it in more in-depth review on the main channel, but thank you all for watching.